Yeah,
It's always funny when you hear these huge stars that were like rejected by a director who went nowhere or some random person.
Right.
And then these schools that, they do pump out talent, but it's just funny when you see someone so talented turned down.
Exactly.
Someone who
Carnegie Mellon turned him down twice. So we went to
sounds like the law firm that represented him later.
But
the law offices, Carnegie Mellon.
I wonder what's on the tube.
Welcome back.
Thank you for being a friend.
What you talking about, Willis?
You are a meathead.
No soup for you.
Don't touch that dial, adjust those bunny ears, because what time is it, Jay?
It's time for Sitcom My Grave. And this episode's poor unfortunate soul is none other than the recently deceased Paul Reubens, a.k.a.
Pee Wee Herman.
One of the rare times a character actually becomes more famous than the actor who portrayed them, I would say, probably.
Yeah, it truly is. Well, he actually kept it that way for a long time. Like, in fact, like when people asked him about his mom and dad, they were Honey Herman and Herman.
I believe his sister was Hermione Herman, as he said on Letterman one time.
I think so, yeah, back in the day.
Yeah, Paul Reubens, man. I didn't realize he was 70 years old when he died. He was born in 1952, August, and just passed here, July 30th, 2023.
Yeah, just missed his next birthday.
About to be 71. Jeez. Maybe because he played Pee Wee Herman, he looks so young, but I didn't realize. Yeah, 70 years old?
Yeah, I was going to say, like, to us, he was always young. You know, like, because he was always the character, basically.
Did you get to revisit anything for this show? Or are you going off of memory? Okay, what'd you revisit?
Well, I revisited his episode actually on Everybody Loves Raymond, where he played Amy's brother Russell, not Peter, but Russell.
Go listen to our Everybody Loves Raymond episode. We briefly, I think, discussed that.
Yes, it's the Hacky-Do episode where Ray has to get, basically it's like a Pokemon card for his daughter, and apparently Amy's brother Russell has a store out in Hohokus, New Jersey.
What the fuck you call me?
Hey now. No, that is an actual name of a town here in Bergen County, New Jersey. Hohokus, New Jersey, and basically Russell winds up getting him to also buy some old comic books, including Little Lotta, besides the Hacky-Do card, because that's something that kids should appreciate.
She wasn't into Chin Pokemon.
No, not Shin Pokemon.
I revisited Big Top Pee-wee and that last Pee-wee movie he did, the Big Holiday on Netflix.
You know what? I missed that. I missed that one. I see it's playing right now on Netflix, but I didn't even realize it was out there.
I tried to watch Big Adventure, but that one didn't seem to be streaming anywhere.
No, not free.
Right.
But going into the background of like Paul and Pee-wee, it was interesting reading about him too, and like how he started. Like he was one of the groundlings. He actually auditioned for Saturday Night Live as Pee-wee.
Did you see who got the role instead of him?
Yep.
The person we talked about on our last episode of Sitcom My Grave, ironically.
Yes, Gilbert Gottfried.
Gilbert Gottfried beat him out for SNL.
Although Gilbert, I'm sure, like afterwards, like, you should have had it. Like, I'm sure, like, he never speaks never spoke highly of his days on SNL.
And Pee-wee, or Paul Reubens, was in the Groundlings for 6 years and created Pee-wee in 1978.
Yep. Yes, and like along with one of his fellow groundlings, Phil Hartman,
who we've discussed many times, apparently a very good friend of his.
Yes.
I also read a story about his arch nemesis, who I thought was funny.
His arch nemesis?
There was a weird thing out in the press for a while about his neighbor. What's the lead of Maroon 5?
Oh, Adam Levine.
They're neighbors, I guess, and there was some disputes over noise complaints for years, to the point where I guess he actually Paul abandoned his home for a while.
Oh wow!
Because the noise and the parties were out of hand, but
but apparently though, also from like reading like other people's like homages to Paul / Pee-wee, and that if he became your friend, he sent you cards, memes, texts, everything, like for your birthday, for Christmas, for like he was a person that liked to celebrate everyone.
I think Conan brought that up when he passed.
Yes.
That he would blow your damn phone up on your birthday. Nonsense. He's like, even if he barely knew you, he just blow your shit up. Unless you're Adam Levine.
No, yeah. I don't think Adam got a card.
You get a couple of fuck you memes. Turn the shit down.
Well, I have to ask you, what was your first exposure to Pee-wee? No pun intended. Also, we'll get to that later. No,
it would have been probably Pee-wee's Playhouse.
Okay.
Which was CBS, right? Ran for how many years?
Yes. What was it, 6 or 7?
He said he ended it because of exhaustion, but it did end around the time of the arrest that everyone knew of.
Right. Yeah, it looks like it ran for like 6 seasons.
Yep, and after that, it was pulled from syndication by CBS.
Correct.
Children's hosts getting caught masturbating in a public theater. That's
right.
Not so much attention they want.
Not really. But
yeah, I used to watch the hell out of that when I was a kid. And like I mentioned in one episode, I had the cherry puppet. I know I had some of the mini like Playhouse figures. Like I distinctly remember. You know how you're a kid, so you buy a play set and then you lose pieces.
Yep.
But I distinctly remember for years having that cabinet with like the genie head in it.
Oh, Jambi, yes.
Yeah. Like I remember having that cabinet, like a little toy of it.
Oh, cool.
For years and years and years, it would sit on my shelf. But I'm sure it ended up in a pile of Killian's dog shit in my yard at some point. I don't know where it is now. But I did have the pull string doll as well, which I still see in thrift stores pretty often, actually. I see the Urkel doll and I see the Pee-wee doll pretty often. The first movie and the show gear him so much toward kids, which is funny because if you look at a lot of the outlying appearances, they are more adult oriented almost and very innuendo filled.
Oh, very, very much. But that was the thing about Pee-wee, like, like Pee-wee's Playhouse and like just his humor in general, and that it was all ages could enjoy it. Like the kids got a kick out of this like colorful character, with it's like, oh well, yeah, what's the word of the day? Like that type of thing. But adults also glommed onto some of the the adult themes, and also his show also reminded them of some of the shows growing up, like a Howdy Doody and some of those types.
That's what I say every time I take a number 2.
Exactly.
Howdy Doody.
Howdy ho.
Mr. Hanky.
But yeah, like my first exposure was HBO used to have this like thing on location, a lot of comedy specials and such, and one of them was the Pee-wee Herman show, and I was like, oh, what's this?
Yay! You said the word of the day. Show. Good job.
But yeah, it's like with this, like Paul Reubens had actually taken his character and did a stage rendition for a while, which then HBO basically just picked up as an episode.
They aired it as a comedy special.
Yes, they did.
Yeah.
And, and it had people like, actually, Phil Hartman, like, reprising his role as Captain Carl, on the show. And you had Missy Vaughn, Jambi, and I'm trying to remember what other characters they actually had in that special. Because that was a much smaller special than, like when you get to Playhouse, where you could have more characters and such.
Yeah, where the fucking globe and the map and the windows talking to you and shit.
Yep.
I guess he actually was very proud of a lot of the props and stuff from that show. And I guess toward the end of his life there was kind of fighting to get some of them back. Mm-hmm. He had given them to, I don't know, some company or something that he thought was supposed to give them to the Museum of Television. And then he said he learned that there was no Museum of Television and that they had basically stolen his shit.
Oh, I did not know that part.
Yeah, including, he knew for sure they had the window. But
God.
It's like, what the fuck?
Now, do you know where the, as far as the name, Pee Wee Herman, do you know where that came from? Did you look that up?
Yeah, he said that Herman was like a very eccentric little boy that he knew as a child.
Yeah.
And Pee Wee was what, harmonica? Was it a harmonica he owned or something?
Yeah, he had a Pee Wee brand harmonica when he was a kid.
But I don't remember Pee Wee playing the harmonica, did he?
No, I don't remember that, but it's just, I guess,
sure
something that he
in there.
enjoyed, like when he was a kid. And then the gray suit that he wore was actually handmade, like originally from the Groundlings director and founder, Gary Austin.
I know he loved the circus, and he said that was one of the main reasons he got into show business is he loved the circus so much. But he was turned down by, what they say, Juilliard turned him down, and he ended up getting into some acting school in L.A.
Oh yeah, like multiple actual colleges and that had rejected him, and that Juilliard was the one that he got rejected twice.
It's always funny when you hear these huge stars that were like rejected by a director who went nowhere or some random person. Right. And then these schools that, they do pump out talent, but it's just funny when you see someone so talented turned down.
Exactly. Someone who Carnegie Mellon turned him down twice. So we went to
sounds like the law firm that represented him later.
But
the law offices, Carnegie Mellon.
But yeah, he went to California Institute of the Arts. He wound up going.
It was always actually weird to me when I seen him outside of Pee-wee more than we talked about the Buffy the Vampire Slayer movie, which was probably one of the earliest times I was like, is that Pee-wee Herman? Mm-hmm. Kent on here mentioned what Meatballs 2. You mentioned Everybody Loves Raymond. But yeah, he had weird, I guess he was the voice of the raccoon in Dr. Dolittle, weird little things like that. You forget about his role in Matilda. Right. I totally forgot that he was a cast member on a few episodes of Murphy Brown.
Right, yeah. I was looking, it's like, holy crap. Like, as far as the sitcoms go, it's like, yeah, he made his way around. And
he's credited as Pee Wee Herman voice on Michael Jackson's Moonwalker.
Yeah, that movie that was made, like, sort of like incorporating the different songs of Michael Jackson into like this whole extravaganza.
But it is funny that he often was credited as Pee-wee, because as we mentioned, he didn't. Mm-hmm. There was a long time there where he did only interviews and appearances as Pee-wee. Like him and his manager, I guess, decided Pee-wee's the one that should get the focus. Let's leave your personal life personal, probably especially after the arrest.
Right.
There's still questions about, his sexuality or his wrongdoings. Who knows? And he actually managed to keep most of his. Besides a couple of arrests, we'll get to another one later. Besides a couple of those, he did manage to keep a lot of his private life pretty private.
Right. Yeah, again, for the longest time, we didn't know Paul Reubens. We just knew Pee Wee Herman and, just what he told us in character. I think the most interesting things I found, though, on IMDb.
Early in it, not stop.
What's that?
Making noise.
Oh no!
This fucking dog over here will not shut the fuck up.
But apparently, early in his career, in 1979, there was a sitcom that lasted only 3 episodes, of which 2 of them he was on. And it was called Working Stiffs.
Not as Pee-wee.
Not as Pee-wee, but this comedy starred Jim Belushi and Michael Keaton.
Oh, he did work with Michael Keaton in Batman Returns and
Yes,
Tim Burton there.
that's correct.
Also, one of the children in Nightmare Before Christmas.
Yeah, Locke. Yeah, he
which
was
I
Locke.
didn't even realize until I think they did a anniversary special one time, and it was it him, Danny Elfman, and Catherine O'Hara were the kids, I think, and they were singing on stage like with an orchestra, and I was like, holy shit, I didn't even realize they were the kids.
Yeah, a few years or so ago, they actually did a Live at the Hollywood Bowl.
That's what it was.
Nightmare Before Christmas, of which he reprised his role as Locke.
Yeah, I didn't realize she was in that either.
Yeah, I know. It's amazing, like, when you look into, like, you know, like, some of these things, like just, you know, voice work or, you know, like, just, like, bit roles, like, how these people come up. But this Working Stiffs was about 2 janitors working their way up in an office building that was owned by the guy's uncle. And Paul played, what was his... he played Heimlich. So I'm very curious to see these episodes of Working Stiffs.
Which is also funny when I didn't realize he was so close to that Jeffrey Jones, who also got in trouble for some kiddie stuff. And that makes more sense with the Tim Burton connection. He was in Beetlejuice with Catherine O'Hara. She's in this, or in Nightmare with him. And I don't even know if I knew about that 2002 arrest. Until I was reading up today, but
yeah, like I also look back and like there were movies I forgot that he was in, like, you know, whether it was like small roles or what, but like there was this movie in 1980 called Midnight Madness. It was sort of like a scavenger hunt movie type of thing. It had like Michael J. Fox in it. It had what was the dude from Grease? The nerdy
John
guy.
Travolta.
No. the nerdy
That's
guy.
all I got. That's the only guy I know from Grease. Sorry.
Oh, okay. But like, yeah, he was in this Midnight Madness. He was also a waiter in The Blues Brothers. Like when
he was in one of the Cheech and Chong movies too. Was it Nice Dreams?
2 of the Cheech and Chong movies, and I was like, oh,
is he the same character in both?
Well, in the one, I believe he's Pee Wee Herman.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
I don't remember that.
But yeah, he was in, what was it? Next Movie and I believe Nice Dreams. But then, yeah, he was Howie Hamburger Dude in Nice Dreams. But
Mystery Men, what, the spleen? Where he just
yes,
keeps
the
farting?
spleen. And you want to hear a little of irony and such. There was the song All Star was used in the movie Mystery Men, and they had a video.
And that lead singer just died too, didn't he?
And the lead singer of Smash Mouth just died as well.
I was going to save him for the next episode, but we had a lot of people die since we've actually recorded a regular episode.
Like,
was it Jimmy
bunch.
Buffett? Jimmy Buffett, the voice of Dale Gribble from King of the Hill, died. Good Lord.
But like, like
the voice of Harley Quinn just died.
Oh, the original voice, not
William
only the voice. Arlene Sorkin, she was the inspiration for the character because on, I think it was on a soap opera that she was on, she dressed up as this like clown character, or like her character was dressed up like a clown and using this weird accent, and they basically took that, like, as the inspiration and made Harley Quinn.
Bob Barker just died.
Yep.
They said that I love the joke that kept going around. 99. Closest to 100 without going over or whatever.
Oh God. Well, hopefully, he went to the good place, or else come on down. No, sorry.
Yeah. William Friedkin, director of The Exorcist, just died. Like all these really like culturally important people just died. Like
Correct.
bam, 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 bam. I was like, Jesus Christ!
Oh,
stop it!
Speaking of bam, 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 Paul was also the voice of Freaky Frankenstone on 2 episodes of the Flintstone comedy show. And I think that was his first foray into the voice acting. Then, it's like, I saw he was on Mork and Mindy. He was on, like some of the ones, like you were saying, Murphy Brown.
I sent you the Joan Rivers one, right? Did you watch that?
No, I did not yet.
So he guest hosted an episode of the Joan Rivers show, which was the whole backstory where she got pissed off Carson by having her own late night show up against his, whatever.
Yes.
But he guest hosted the Joan Rivers show as Pee Wee Herman and was kind of funny, but there was this weird hashtag cancel Suzanne Summers. There was this weird thing where Suzanne Summers was the first guest down there and she's talking about some variety show she was doing. Mm-hmm. And she flat out talks about, I play so many characters. And she goes, I play this person, Nancy Reagan, Patti LaBelle. And she goes, yeah, when I put the makeup on, I look just like her. I was like, what? I was like, did Suzanne Summers just say she did blackface on a variety show?
Oh, wow.
I tried to find it. I couldn't find it anywhere. But she's in that Pee Wee Herman hosted Joan Rivers episode talking about it.
Damn.
I was wondering if someone buried the shit out of that.
It's quite
you can
possible.
find the Nancy Reagan one, and then they had Radon Chong was like the third guest, and Pee Wee kept asking all the guests about Boy Scouts or Girl Scouts, and gets to her at the end. Were you ever in the Boy Scouts or Girl Scouts? Or were you ever in the Girl Scouts? And she goes, no, I used to mug the Girl Scouts. And I was like, Jesus Christ! I was like, Pee Wee should have had his own late night talk show because he gets the fucking dirt out of these people.
Oh, nice.
She looks at Suzanne Summers and she goes, I used to rob people who look like you, Suzanne. I was like, God damn. She goes, I was in the hood.
Oh, that's so funny. It's like, though, Ray Don Chong given her dad, where Pee Wee was in the 2 movies there.
Right. Thought that was funnier than hell.
But I love how you brought up also with Tim Burton there, the Batman Returns.
Yep.
Where Paul Reubens plays Penguin's dad.
Danny DeVito's dad.
Yeah, Danny DeVito's
dad. I guess
dad.
if Danny DeVito can be Arnold Schwarzenegger's twin, I guess Paul Reubens could be Danny DeVito's
exactly.
dad.
But the crazy thing is, the show Gotham.
Oh, he reprised some similar character, didn't he?
Yes, he did.
I only watched, I think, the first 2 seasons of that, and honestly, the Penguin, this motherfucker, it had the problem of all prequels, where you go, I know this person's gonna live because they go on to the lore.
Right.
And the Penguin, every fucking episode for like 12 episodes in a row was like the brink of death, and then some miracle saved him. And I got to the point where I was like, fuck this show. Like, fuck you.
But I will say the actor that played the Penguin on that show, I think, was one of the bright spots.
He was. They were
Robert
all
Lord
good.
Taylor.
It was the writing and the fucking.
Oh yeah, they were all over the place on that show.
It was the, what do they call that, plot armor that saved all these characters because you knew they had to live. They just kept saving and saving. And you're like, just write a different story. We know you're not going to kill this motherfucker 12 times in a row. Just fucking move on. But anyway, yeah, I did see a picture of Paul standing at a gravesite with him or something. With what the actor, I forget the actor's name, but who played the Penguin?
Robert Lord Taylor. Yeah.
He's the Penguin on the show on Gotham.
Yeah. Yep.
And of course, Donald Logue on that, who we love.
Yep.
I love Donald Logue. Can't wait to do Grounded for Life.
Oh yeah, no, that'll be a good one. And speaking of actually both of them in that, they were also let's stick on Paul, but one of my favorite sitcoms going on now, What We Do in the Shadows. Mm-hmm. Paul was on there because they had an episode where the current group of vampires has to go in front of the Vampiric Council. And the Vampiric Council is made up of the three guys from the original movie of What We Do in the Shadows, plus Paul Reubens, Danny Trejo.
Is he from Dusk Till Dawn?
I believe so, yeah. Wesley Snipes.
Is he playing Blade? Are they playing their other vampires?
Well, here's the crazy part. Their characters, the vampire characters, are all named their real names. So
really?
the vampire is Paul and Danny and Wesley. Like, all these people that have played vampires in movies and shows were the Vampiric Council. And it was funny because Wesley was on via, like, Skype. And his thing was breaking up, and, like, and Paul, like, was like, the connection is glitchy, you know, like in this vampiric voice, and like, the connection is glitchy.
Well, you said he's playing his actual character from the Buffy movie, right? Or like
right.
a similar? Is he? You said it's his name though, but he's playing a similar.
But it's his name, yeah. It was freaking hysterical.
Well, and we know Wesley's not afraid to make fun of himself. I fucking died in that. Was it Expendables 3 when he wasn't in like the second one or something because he was in prison? And the opening of the third one, they're picking him up and they go, "Where the hell have you been?" He's like, "I was in prison." And they're like, "For what?" He's like, "Tax evasion." Like the real thing he went to prison for.
But yeah, like I love, and actually, Paul actually did one more last voice this year, actually, on the sitcom, animated sitcom Bob's Burgers.
We love that show.
Oh yeah, I love that show, and yeah, like I guess it was the last episode.
The movie, not so much, but the show's good.
Oh no, the movie was no, the movie should not have existed. But the show, great, and I think it was the season ender was where Paul lent his voice. He
How
played
poetic.
Pat.
The end of their season, the end of his season.
Yes.
Oh, God, I just heard something roar out there in the hallway.
Uh-oh.
Oh, God. There's a
Killian,
vampire coming to get my ass. What's that? What's the one vampire roommate of theirs? The energy vampire? That dude fucking kills me.
Colin Robinson.
Yeah. He's just a regular fucking dude who like drains the energy of the room by being boring.
But it's so funny when he meant, like, when he describes himself, it's like, oh shit, yeah, like every like office has that person.
Yeah. Yeah, and if you don't think your office has that person,
you are that person.
Yeah. The first time they go, "So about that weather," you go, "Holy fuck!" Really? anything else? When's the last time you watched Big Top Pee Wee? Because that movie's fucking horny. That is a fucking weird.
Oh God, it's been a good many years. But here's the. Funny, I don't know if I said it on the last one, but little anecdote of 1988. This was the year that you remember the actress Valeria Golino.
That's the one in there, the
Yeah.
Italian girl. Yeah.
Yep.
From Hot Shots.
Yes, from Hot Shots. And in 1988, like on screen, she dated two men:
Pee Wee
Tom
Herman
Cruise in Rain Man and Pee Wee Herman in Big Top Pee Wee.
Dude, she's fucking she's sexy in Big Top Pee Wee even, but
oh yeah.
God, that movie is so fucking. It doesn't feel like Pee Wee. You got Pee Wee hanging out with Chris Christopherson.
Over the place, but yeah, like.
Speaking of Wesley Snipes and Blade, Chris Christopherson is the co-star of that movie.
Yes,
he was
he was
Whistler
the
in Blade.
ringmaster, head of the circus, and then his wife Midge. I remember.
There's a talking pig for no fucking reason.
Exactly.
And Pee Wee is just trying to fuck the whole fuck. He has a fiance. He cheats on his fiance with the Italian girl. He's just pouncing on people, like dry humping and shit. Like, what the fuck is going on in this movie?
And then a couple years later is when we got the adult theater
Holy
incident.
Shit. So he's literally like the first fiance in the movie. He's like jumping on her and shit and like trying to roll around. She's like, Pee-wee, get off me. Well, they're like, well, no wonder he had to go jerk off in the theater. Even his fiance won't fuck him.
Jeez. Oh, did you know, like, Paul was also on an episode of Reno 911?
Oh yeah, he was the one that was like,
Back in 2006.
He came in as like he came in as like an inspector or something. He was like training him, right? And then at the end, you find out he like was the thief or something they were looking for. I think. I believe that was the joke of it, if I remember right.
Yeah.
He stole all their shit.
He was also on an episode of 30 Rock. Yeah, like.
Oh, that was great. That was when he has like the puppet legs and the little fake hand. Keep spinning, keep spinning. He's like the Duke Gerard or something. Geralt, I don't know, something like that.
Oh wait, what was his name? Jesus.
He comes out, yeah, and he's 25 years old and he looks like a dying Muppet.
Yeah, Gerhardt.
Gerhardt, that was it. Yeah, yeah, that was funny and shit.
But yeah, it's interesting, like looking at his resume of playing a lot of course funny roles, but also some more serious roles, such as Penguin's dad and but looking at his resume too, there's some things I have to find because of just how ridiculous things sound. There's an animated show called Pickle and Peanut where he plays Couch Dracula.
Okay.
Yeah, not Count Dracula, Couch Dracula. See, another vampire role.
Oh, I forgot he was in Blow. That's right, with Johnny Depp.
Yeah, so it's like, yeah, he's got a very big body of work.
He was on 3 episodes of Dirt with Courtney Cox. That was her short-lived. I think there's like 3 or 4 seasons. Mm-hmm. Kind of a drama show too. I don't wonder.
I want to see though if we can find
he was Jokey Smurf in the Smurfs movies.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, I still want to see if I can find that working stiffs. If that's an actual, like if we can find that streaming somewhere, I'd love to do that for a quick one. Because it's only 3 episodes.
A voice in Call of Duty: Infinite Warfare.
Yes,
wow.
I think zombies in space or something.
Weird. I didn't. I did watch that. I told you that that newest Pee-wee's Big Holiday. I get that. That is a terrible movie. It's a terrible movie.
Oh.
I don't. You could tell they tried to recreate the magic of Big Adventure, which is funny because the whole premise of the movie is that I've never left this little town before, and you're like, yeah, you did. There's a whole fucking movie about it. What the fuck are you talking about? And then he runs into the guy talking to vampires again. The main guy from True Blood is like plays himself in the movie. I don't remember his fucking name, but he shows up as himself.
Is that, Joe?
Yes,
Monteleone.
Yeah, that guy, Monteljello or Montel. Yeah, whatever the fuck, that guy. He shows up in town like on a motorcycle, but he does all the same like things as Pee-wee. Like has some of the same mannerisms and same sayings. So he's like the cool Pee-wee, and he's like, "You got to come to my birthday in New York City." So it's like a road trip from wherever the fuck he lives, I forget, to New York City. But yeah, the whole joke is like, "You've never left this town, Pee-wee," and it's like, "Yeah, he did."
Well, actually,
which is also weird because like in Big Adventure, like the townspeople loved Pee-wee, right? Mm. And or they've at least accepted him to the point where they knew his routine and they just like, okay, here comes fucking Nutso. Yeah. And then in Big Top Pee-wee, they fucking hate him. The whole town fucking hates him. He's living in this place on a farm, and they're like, "Get the hell out of here, Pee-wee Herman, you piece of shit." And then in Big Holiday again, they all love him again. "Oh, Pee-wee, we love you, blah blah." Even Richard Reilly was in there from like Office Space and shit, and Grounded for Life, also with Donald Logue. But he's in there for some real like. There's people in there with names who just get nothing to do, like including the woman from. She was in, I think, Big Adventure, What's the other? There's some other woman he meets on the road, and she shows up.
Not Large Marge.
Who's the woman waving off the train? She leaves on the train.
Oh crap! Wait, what was her name?
She shows up as a different character in Big Holiday.
Oh, okay.
And they have a flying car. And they're just flying around in a car for 5 minutes talking about bullshit, and then she leaves again. But I don't know. It was weird to see these people. You're like, I recognize these people. Why are you in this shitty movie just doing nothing? Just because it's Pee-wee, really?
Right. But
says the guy who's been in a million shitty movies.
Hey.
Don't shoot me. But anyway, I was like, oh, and I didn't know until today that they also did age regression on him, because he does look a little older in Big Holiday. That was 2016, okay. I believe. And then I was watching something today, and they said they de-aged him.
Oh, okay.
Digitally, so I guess that makes a little more sense.
Well, I was going to say, if it was literally, that would be pretty incredible. You know, like, we will now de-age you 30 years. Yeah.
It's not that hard to de-age yourself. You just gain weight, and then you look younger.
Wait, why hasn't it worked? Sorry. But yeah,
de-age and wear a hat. That's the second part. Or gain weight and wear a hat.
There we go. But yeah,
will you ever hear the Tequila song again without thinking of the Pee-wee dance?
Oh no! I from the time that was on the big screen and I saw it.
Minute.
Yeah. To now, I can never think of anything but Pee-wee
tequila.
doing the dance.
Should I talk to your wife about this? Like, Nick just said he can't think about anything but tequila. I think he might have a drinking problem.
No, and if it was a drinking problem, probably wouldn't be tequila.
What was the airplane? I got a drinking problem. He just pours it.
Yes, yeah. That's when my drinking problem started.
Yeah. This is soda. I'm not doing that.
No. God.
On Conan, one of the later interviews where he actually was himself.
Yeah.
Conan was kind of asking him about his childhood. And of course, whether it's true or not, it could be like Gilbert where he just tells fake ass stories, but he was telling this story about one birthday where his sister got a tea set. Mm-hmm. And he's like, my sister could give two shits about this tea set, but I was looking at it like, holy shit, a tea set. That's pretty cool. And his dad's like, oh, you like it, Paul? Let's have a tea party. He goes, okay. And he's like running to the other room, making tea, coming back, and his dad's drinking the tea in these little tiny cups. And he kept going, we need more tea, Paul. And he's like, okay. He kept running out of the room, bringing back more tea, making more tea. And he goes, after about four trips to the kitchen or wherever to refill the tea kettle, he goes, Dad, we're out of tea. And he goes, what are you talking about? He goes, yeah, the toilet's empty.
Oh! Oh my God. Again, like you said, whether this is just
whether it's true or just a joke,
made up story.
Pretty funny.
It's part of the Pee-wee legacy.
Yeah.
But he will definitely be missed. Hopefully, more generations can see like his body of work, particularly Pee-wee's Playhouse, because I think that's a lot of people where
Did you see that there was a time when he thought about passing on the mantle?
That I did not read.
And the person apparently he was interested in doing it was, do you have a guess? He's an actor, younger actor.
Okay.
Got big in probably 2005, 2006, wasn't everything?
2005, 2006. Daniel Radcliffe, I don't know.
Not a bad guess. Michael Cera.
Michael Cera, okay.
Can and I kind of looked at, I was like, you know what? He is kind of like a constant boyish, youthful type.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, he still has that, that youthful look and such. Like,
I guess there was a time when he thought about maybe, like, it sounded almost like he was thinking about a Pass the Torch movie where they both were, like, similar. Mm-hmm. And then he passed the bow tie off, I guess. But yeah, he hosted, like you said, hosted SNL as Pee-wee.
As Pee-wee.
I even saw he was on the Dating Game as Pee-wee.
Yes,
you see that?
I did see that. and apparently it was more than once. Like I think
really?
he was on twice. Can you?
He was not chosen on the one I saw because he was answering like a little kid, and I think her last question was something like, you see me at a bar having a drink. What do you do? And he goes, well, I'm not old enough to drink. She goes, okay, moving on, or something like that, and then just basically picks someone up.
Oh
yeah, I mean, did you read anything about that 2002 arrest of his with the child?
Yeah, that was weird. Yeah,
the minor. He said he owned vintage photos and vintage pornography, which, and the weird thing is, back to Paul Reubens. Sorry if you're confused.
Yeah, no. Sorry to interrupt our insanity with going back to the subject.
It's weird because apparently that Jeffrey Jones, the guy from Beetlejuice and the guy from Ferris Bueller's Day Off, the principal.
Yep.
He had asked a young 17-year-old boy to pose for photos or whatever. And I had to look it up because I think it's fucking weird that, all these different states have different ages.
Yep.
I mean, so what's the law if you own those photos in Michigan? Is it okay, or is pornography still like 18? Because the age of consent in Michigan is 16. So in California, it's 18. I'm like, there's such a weird, creepy line when you get that low anyway. But you also go like, if you're in fucking Cali and you want a fucking 17-year-old, why don't you just go to a state where it's legal? Isn't that I don't know. It's just weird to me. But I feel like the photo thing is probably what it is, right? Because I feel like even if your age of consent is 16, I feel like your photos and stuff are 18. Is that right?
I don't know.
When you used to run your child smut business, what was that?
Oh, yeah. Hold on. No, going back to... No, I don't know with...
But, yeah. Because, he only did, I think he just did community service and paid a fine or something.
Mm-hmm.
But also, vintage photos. They said he had a weird vintage photo collection. If there's naked children in it, is there a statute? I don't know how any of that creepy
and also,
works,
you say statute, but they said also they found, kitschy memorabilia that was weird. Yeah.
Well, they arrested him, days before there's a 1-year statute on something that they did, and they literally arrested him and Jeffrey Jones just before the 1-year statute went up.
Wow.
Because they were investigating them for almost a year.
Yeah, apparently it was a witness in the case against Jones is where this came up.
Yeah. So, you got to give the guy props. He was able to keep his private life private, even with these weird things that came out. And he never really commented on them, right? I don't know any of the full story from his mouth, and I kind of wish we did.
I never heard him talk about any of that.
Obviously, comedians for years have told the jokes about him,
right?
But it would have been nice to just have him clear up some things if it were so innocent the way he said it was, right?
Well, yeah.
I don't know. I hate when you tarnish someone that you love so much in that sense without knowing all the facts.
Well, I did find he made a statement versus the charges that were brought up in 2002.
Okay.
It's one thing I want to make very, very clear. I don't want anyone for 1 second to think I'm titillated by images of children. It's not me. You can say lots of things about me, and you might. The public may think I'm weird. They may think I'm crazy or anything that anyone wants to think about me. That's all fine. As long as one of the things you're not thinking about me is that I'm a pedophile. That's not true. So,
I hope not. Jesus.
Right. Yeah, I don't.
And there was also, he had one other arrest in the 70s, something about lurking around a porn theater too.
That one I didn't read about.
It was in early 70s, and then he had something in the 80s, I think, just for marijuana possession. But
okay.
The charges were dropped. It was said lurking and loitering outside of an adult film theater in the earlier mid 70s. So I don't know. Three charges. They are sexually fueled charges.
Mm-hmm.
That one was dropped. The other one's marijuana. No one gives a fuck about that anymore. Probably didn't even back then, but he did 2 years of probation for it.
Jeez.
So yeah, he's a funny fucking dude, and I hate to think anything bad about him, but I wish some of these people would, like Louis C.K. when he came out and spoke on his shit. Mm. At least you're getting the other side of the story, because I feel like when you run and you hide, people are just allowed to make up their own narrative.
Exactly.
I think Paul actually did say the only thing I really heard him say on the matter is that he wished back in 91 that he did take control of the situation and do something, but he took matters into his own hands, just in a very different way.
I was going to say, yeah, that was a different matter.
Yeah, don't take matters in your own hands in public, children.
And by matters, we say no. But it's like, yeah, I'd rather remember him for, the joy that he gave us, the humor, and just, like, again, something that both kids and parents alike could enjoy.
And again, you hope that if there's enough evidence, he would have gone away for it. Like,
right, yeah. If it was
Danny
true,
Masterson just got 30 years.
Yep. Oh yeah, we didn't get to bring that one up.
Danny Masterson, that 70s show Hyde, 30 years on, what was it, 2 or 3 counts of 30 aggravated rape?
Yeah, 2. Yeah, 30 years to life.
Can you imagine throwing your life away for a nut?
No.
It's just, jerking off's too easy. I can't imagine ruining my entire life for a fucking nut. Fuck you.
But again, also, with him, you get into the whole Scientology thing and that, and it's like, no, don't shoot us.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's always more of a power trip with that kind of shit too.
Yeah.
But yeah, we're gonna think of Paul in a great light for now, and hopefully that we never learn anything more lurid.
Now, I believe on our next episode, are we not talking about it's that time of year?
Yeah, award season?
Award season.
You're going to give... I'm not a golden bald guy, but I'm a bald guy. You can award me, huh?
There we go. Hey!
If you can hold me up on that podium long enough. Yes. End of last season, we did our award show where we gave awards to all of the shows we had covered that season. We are doing the same thing to end this season.
Correct.
And we did have Nick's favorite show come back, so Full House is back in the running as one of our 20 shows for the season. And I couldn't believe it. I didn't even think, like, F Troop, our episode, popped up as like the 1 year ago, and I was like, damn, that was already a year ago?
Yeah, I can't believe that.
I feel like we just covered that show like yesterday.
Right.
When our guest almost died on the way to it. How you doing, Anthony? Hope you're doing
Anthony.
Good. How's your car? Anyway, yeah. So we're gonna be ending our second season. I can't believe we've been doing this shit for 2 years already.
Yep. And two more, because there are a hell of a lot more.
We haven't
sitcoms.
Even gotten to some of the best yet.
Exactly. Talk about your like all-time greats. Your
Is there a show that will be coming up that will usurp your number one? I'm sure there's one that will usurp mine.
Oh God, I don't know. That's a good question. Yeah, because
stay tuned to find out.
Yeah, there's so many.
I said the magic word. Show.
But yeah.
Also, like, tell me you went to Spirit Halloween already without telling me you went to Spirit Halloween already. You know what movie that's from, Nick?
Wait, is that from Mars Attacks?
Nope. Close.
Wait. Trying to... Okay,
Killer Clowns from Outer Space.
Oh, God, Killer Clowns. Oh, my God. I haven't seen that one in a while. Now, I'm trying to remember. Are they... they're talking about a sequel, I believe, to that now, right?
There's a video game coming out, too.
Yeah. But I think they actually are talking about doing a sequel.
I met them. I met two of the Chiodo brothers at a con, probably 2019, and they were talking to me about, well, if you like it, we're working on a sequel. But that was, 5 years ago,
Right?
almost.
Yeah, we'll see if it happens.
Yeah, I mean the game's coming out, and I'm kind of hoping the game spurs enough excitement to maybe, possibly spur a sequel.
Nice.
And the Chiodo brothers, they work with they worked on all the Star Wars and shit. I think they worked on like the creatures, the puppets, and stuff.
God,
I think that's how they got big. Was like creature, like Jim Henson type shit.
right? Yeah, like Creature Shop.
So, hell yeah.
Oh, that would be freaking awesome. Oh, now,
I want to do I think around Halloween, we're going to do a stream too. So I kind of want you to join whatever day we figure it out, where we play all the movie horror games like your Evil Deads. We're playing Texas Chainsaw Massacre,
nice.
Friday the 13th, Ghostbusters. So if you want in on that, that'd be fun. You can come around, do some commentating with us, and
Sweet.
compare the games to the movies and just discuss the movies and the holiday. Because fucking October, Halloween, shoot.
No, I'm trying to remember. Was it you? No. I was just watching. I was just looking on YouTube, and somebody was playing the old Friday the 13th Nintendo game.
Oh god, that game sucks.
Yeah.
I do own it though, just because I have to. If it's got Friday the 13th on it, I gotta own it. You know.
So. All right.
And my Friday the 13th Jason butt plug in. I mean,
oh hey!
oh, sorry. Cut that out. Future me, cut that out. Anything else on old Paulie boy before we move on?
I don't think anything else on Paul, but again, just to all those out there that don't know his his stuff, look it up. It's good.
Yeah, I don't remember a bad performance from him.
Now and that's the thing. Like every time everything he was in, he gave it all. Now, whether the rest of the thing was a little weird, hey.
Yeah, I mean, some of the Pee-wee jokes don't always land, especially if you could tell a few times on talk shows and shit when they're improvised. They don't always hit, but, it was a different time. The standards were lower.
Yeah, and actually, that goes actually back to one of his first characters in The Groundlings was a guy that told jokes that wasn't good. That wouldn't land. But he didn't realize it and just kept going on.
I would highly recommend though YouTube. Look up that Joan Rivers where he guest hosted.
Okay, I got
because it does kind of make you go. I go fucking Elf got a talk show on TV Land. Pee Wee Herman could have had a talk show. It would have been pretty good.
Oh yeah, that makes a lot of sense too. Yeah, especially since I'm trying to remember. Was it MTV? Like in the early 2000s, they brought back Pee-wee's Playhouse, and they were playing it at night.
Oh, like reruns?
Yeah. Well, it wasn't new ones.
It would have had to be like MTV.
Yeah, I think it was.
You can get the DVDs now. I know they finally put those out a couple years ago, 10 years ago.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right.
All right.
R.I.P.
R.I.P.
Paul Reubens. If you want to find, let's cheer it up for the end here. Hey, if you want to find our show, you can find us on YouTube. Just search Sitcom My Face. You can find us on X, the new hot app for everyone.
Yes, look out. Elon Musk is trying to take over the alphabet. His Tesla's with the T and X.
Hey, and a few of you did reach out. Thank you so much for actually, one guy was like, oh, I love the show. I listened to 5 episodes.
Cool.
Another guy was like, oh, I just discovered your show. It's great. And someone actually corrected us on That 70s Show.
Oh.
Where we talked about the theme song.
Yes.
That was a real song. I didn't even fucking know that.
A song from the 70s or whatever that already existed.
Yeah, I know we discussed it on there. We think this was made for That 70s Show, but no, I didn't write it down. But yeah, it was actually a real show. Dark Star or Black Star or something like that. It was the band, I think. So, yes, definitely. We do read your comments, your tweets, your X's.
Yeah, your X's.
Are your X's written in Braille? Oh. Sorry.
Hey, if they want to email us too, it's sitcommyface@gmail.com.
Especially if you're a Nigerian prince and you want to give us some money.
Woohoo.
Yes, we can be found anywhere. Facebook.com/sitcommyface. All of our videos and stuff go up there as well. So,
From Sitcom My Face, I've been Nick.
I've been Jay. Well, someday, way down the road, when I die, Will you come sitcom my grave? Many, many, many years from now.
Thank
If
you,
I die, are
everyone.
you going to get a new co-host? Or
Uh-oh.
he's like, shit, he's on to me.
Damn it.
It's poisoned.